Okay, we're completing the flyer that is called In the Lab 1. It starts on page WD 58, but really all the instructions are on page WD 59. So I'm going to go at a pretty quick pace on this because you can always pause and rewind and replay what I'm saying. But if it's something that you know pretty easily and can skip right through, then you're not waiting for me to tell you the next step. So keep in mind that you can always pause. It asks us to run Word in number 1 and display the formatting marks on the screen. That is just this little backwards P letter that's in the paragraph group on the Home tab. So clicking on that is going to show any paragraph marker such as a tab or a space or when you hit the Enter key. So when I hit the Enter key, it's going to show as a backwards P paragraph mark. And I'll show you some of the other marks as we go along. It asks you to type the flyer text unformatted as shown in the figure at the bottom of the page, inserting a blank line between the headline and the body copy. So this is a puppy for sale flyer. You're going to hit enter twice because you want to move down. It asks you to leave a blank line there. And then you're going to type the remainder of the text. I am going to just skip ahead and let you stop this video until you finish typing it. You're going to be hitting enter after each line. So here's my text. It asks you then to save the document using the file name lab11 puppy for sale flyer. You can go up to the file menu, choosing save or save as. Either one is going to give you the option to name it, and I'm just going to probably put this file on my desktop, and it asks me to call it lab 1-1 puppy for sale flyer. When I hit the enter key or when I choose to save it, it now shows up at the top as the file name. Center the headline and the signature line. That's number 4. The headline is this one. And if I use the control key, I'm able also to select the signature line. With both of those selected, whatever feature I choose, whether it's a type of format such as centering or making something red or making it bold, for example, it's going to apply to both lines or whatever's selected. So clicking on center is going to center align both of those. Then I click to deselect. Number 5 asks you to change the theme colors to aspect. On the Design tab in Word, you will find themes right at the beginning here, and when you click on it, you're going to look for aspect. Mine happens to be up here because I had to add it. Yours may be down at the bottom here with the rest of them. So take a look. Once you've applied a theme, it may change a couple different things. Because we don't have any colors really showing yet on this, it's just text, we may see that the font changes a little bit, but nothing as far as colors changes. But it does in the background, we just don't know it because we don't have anything that has any color applied yet. We'll see this change as it goes. Number 6 asks you to change the font size of the headline to 72, and that's back on my Home tab. So I can choose from the drop-down 72, and that's going to put that puppy for sale onto 2 lines. But what happens is it also asks us to change the type of font, and the type of font we're going to choose is going to make it still appear on 1 line. It asks you to choose Gill Sans Ultra Bold. If you start to type up in the font name, it should try to match what you type, and that way it allows you to see the font name. We want the one that's called condensed. So Gill Sans Ultra Bold Condensed. If yours doesn't fit on the line, or if you happen to have different font that you can't get it to fit on the line, change the size of the font. It doesn't matter if it's exactly the same font. I would rather it fit on the first line. The headline should always be on 1 line. It then asks you to apply the text effect, and that's also to this title, which I still have selected, my headline. My text effects are here in the font group. So it says at the second part of number 6, apply the text effect called Fill Purple, a dark purple, accent 1, outline. So as you start to move your mouse along to see some of these names, you want to make sure it matches exactly with what the book asks for, and this is the one it wants. Number 7 asks you to change the font of the body copy. Now the body copy is everything that's in between the headline and the signature line. So that's going to be all of these different lines. The font size for that is going to be 22. And then it asks you to change the signature line, which is just this one at the bottom here, to size 20. If you happen to select your item and you notice that the quick access toolbar comes up, you can always utilize these buttons as well. It just saves you from having to go all the way up to the ribbon and choosing your formatting. Okay, I'm going to click to deselect and just go back up so I can see the top of my flyer here. Okay, number 9, change the font of the body copy and signature line to Comic Sans MS. So that's going to be from here all the way down, and I'm just going to drag down until everything is selected, and it wants me to change that to Comic Sans. So again, I'm going to start typing. Just makes it easier to kind of scroll through these, and here's the font I want. Comic Sans MS. And you can see that file name up, that font name up here. Then it's going to ask me to just select the 3 lines that begin with fun. So fun, needs a loving home, knows these commands. It actually spills onto 4 lines, but it's considered to be 3 paragraphs, if you will. And it asks you to apply the bullet option. If you can get it from the quick access toolbar, great. Otherwise, bullets is available up here in the paragraph group. It is going to apply the standard round bullet unless someone has changed that. So if another bullet comes up, that's fine too. Change the color of the words purebred American Cocker Spaniel. So we're going to select that. Apply the color dark green, accent 4, darker 50%. Font color is here, and when I want to see the palette, I click on the drop down. Now I can see that this is my dark green column, so I'm going to kind of go along here until I see one that is a name that matches what I want. This one is close, but it actually asks us to use the 50% darker. So dark green, accent 4, darker, 50%. And then I can click outside that so it's not selected. Italicize the word "and" in the 3rd paragraph. And what they consider to be the 3rd bulleted paragraph is 1, 2, 3. Even though it's not a true paragraph, it is considered a paragraph in Word because you've hit the enter key after it. It asks you to select and I just did a little double click in that. That selects one word, and then I can click to make that italic. Again, click to deselect so nothing is selected. Bold the text in the signature line. That's this. So I'm going to select it and make it bold. It also wants the paragraph to be shaded. So right now I'm on number 13. It says shade the paragraph to dark purple, accent 5, lighter, 50%. Now shading is this paint can which you find in the paragraph group. Clicking on that, and again, the purple gives me a little key that I'm going to be looking for this. It asks me to find the one called purple, dark purple, sorry, accent 5, lighter, 80%. Perfect. There it is. What that's going to do, and it's kind of hard to see, you may be able to see it a little bit better on your screen, it's just added a shading behind those words. Underline the phone number in the signature line. That's going to be this. When I select it, if I can grab that underline from the quick access toolbar, otherwise here. I'm sorry, the mini toolbar. Otherwise I grab it right here. Now it wants us to change the zoom, and that's down here in the right hand corner of the status bar. It has a slider in the middle, and then it also has the zoom out, which is the negative, and the positive zoom in, and then also your 100%. If you click on that, that also pops up some options. There are several ways to change your zoom. It asks you to change it so that the entire page is visible. So clicking on this 100% actually gives you a dialog box that allows you to see the whole page. That's one of my options there, and that way I don't have to guess what percentage that is. When I choose OK, it zooms out to show me what my flyer looks like so far. It asks us to insert a picture in this blank line here, and we're going to insert a puppy picture. If you don't have the file downloaded, we can pick any picture for a puppy. If we downloaded it in class, you may have that file saved somewhere, or maybe I saved it on Blackboard for you. Otherwise, any picture is going to do. So insert. In this case, I'm going to choose online pictures because I'm just going to try to find one online. And I'm going to look for, actually I'll specifically look for a Cocker Spaniel and see what it comes up with. These really look like a Cocker Spaniel, do they? Anyway, this guy, we'll throw him in there. So I'm going to select that and choose Insert, and the picture is going to appear. No matter what you choose, it may not necessarily be the right size for your flyer, and that is something we can modify. In this case, mine's probably okay, but if you needed to change it, you can come up here to the size group, and if you click on the little dialog box launcher in the corner, you can actually choose to increase or decrease the scale. So if it's way big, I might want 50%. If it's just a little bit too big, 75. Either way, you can change that. I'm going to leave mine actually as it is, but what I am going to do is go to the Home tab and use the Center Align button, and it's just going to take that picture and place it in the middle. In addition, it asks you to choose the rotated white picture effect, picture style, and that's going to be here on the Picture Tools Format tab. There are a whole bunch of different types of picture styles. If you run your mouse across any of them, it will show you what it's going to look like. There are more by clicking on this button down here. Now, it tells me it's rotated, so I'm going to guess that it's one of these. Rotated white, that is the picture style it wants me to use, and applying that is just as simple as clicking on the style. It also tells you to apply the glow effect. Now, there are different types of picture effects, and you'll see them if you click on this drop-down arrow. You can go down to glow, which is what we're doing, but as you can see, if it ever asks you to add a shadow or a bevel effect, edges, a certain point of soft edges, all of those options are here. In this one, we're looking for a purple glow, and again, you want to match it exactly. It is the dark purple 5-point glow, accent color 5, so it happens to be this first one in that row. Okay, we're almost done. Next page, it is asking us in number 18 to change the spacing after the paragraph containing the headline. That would be this one. Changing your paragraph and line spacing is this button here in the paragraph group. I'm going to click on it, and what it tells me to do is change the spacing after paragraph to 0. I can do that either just by simply going to remove space after paragraph, or if I go into line spacing options, after, it's right now 8 points, I want it to be 0 points, so I'm going to bump that down to 0 and choose OK. Dotted border. So there's the dotted. Here's my dark green, and it wants me to find accent 4, which happens to be this one right here. That's perfect. 6 points. The points are a thickness, so if you take a look from that width, it means the width of that line. I do want to apply it to this whole document, which in this case is just the page, and I choose OK. So there's my finished flyer. You should always spell check. If you happen to have any mistakes here, spell check is on the Review tab. Looks like this one's fine. You're going to save this file, and you are going to upload it into the Week 3 folder. Because we've already named it, all you need to do is click on the Save button, and you're good to go.